November. You know, here lately I've been doing a lot of game reviews, but I can't for the life of me think of anyone to do, at least right now. Yeah, unless something like falls from the sky or something. Okay. Alright. I'll do a review on Sonic Forces. Maybe it'll be as good as the last Sonic game. Well, let's find out.
Hello everybody, it's me, Nate, aka Devil Dog, and this time I'm back for a viewer-requested game review. This time I'm reviewing Sonic Forces. It was developed by Sonic Team and published by Sega, and was released on November 7th of 2017 on the PlayStation 4, the Xbox One, the Nintendo Switch, and Microsoft Windows. And it is a platformer with action-adventure elements with classic side-scrolling views for some of the levels, and a more modern 3D gameplay similar to Sonic Unleashed or Sonic Colors on the other levels. And the overall plot has you playing as different characters, including your own customized Furatar character, to stop Eggman and the new villain Infinite after they have taken over the world, and your resistance group is pretty much left behind to try to pick up the pieces and stop them and save everyone. Now, gameplay consists of running at high speeds throughout the levels, collecting rings, killing enemies, and reaching the end as fast as possible to try to get a higher ranking score. Now, you do have unlimited lives in this game, and you can't really die. If you die, it just lets you go back through the level again. But whatever rings that you lose permanently, and then you cannot get them back. So if you die, you can't regather the rings that you just dropped. You'll have to gather new rings throughout your adventure. Now, most of the side-scroller levels are played with classic Sonic, while the 3D ones are more played with modern Sonic, or your Furatar. And your new Sonic has a homing attack, while the classic Sonic has his classic spin dash and the drop dash that was introduced in Sonic Mania. Now, a first for the series is the creation character screen, where you get to go and create your own character. Now, the first thing that will happen is you get to pick between 7 different animal types, and each of the animal types will give you a different specific ability. And you'll also receive a grappling hook, which you are used throughout your adventure as a homing attack for enemies, and you also use it on hooks to get you to different areas of the levels. You also will get something known as a Wispin, which is pretty much a gun, and you can upgrade it throughout your adventures to where it turns into different things, including hammers, whips, and flamethrowers, and other weapons. And you can also get temporary abilities in the levels by collecting certain wisps in the levels, and that will allow you to get a limited time use of your Wispin. Now, there are certain levels where you get to do a tag team, where you can actually have 2 characters at once, and you can alternate between the 2 characters to do certain moves and to get through the level faster and to kill the enemies and stuff like that. Very similar to the way Sonic Heroes did it. Now, this game will receive a free DLC called Episode Shadow, and it is a prequel to the game where you're playing as Shadow, Rogue the Bat, and E123 Omega, and it basically is a way to explore the origins of the new villain Infinite. Now, overall length of this game is a very small game. You're looking at roughly only about 2 to 4 hours if you play this game. You can get through it in under an hour if you rush through it, but depending on if you spend more time with it and do all the stuff, you might even be able to get 6 hours out of it, but not that much. This is a very small game. The only difference between this game and Sonic Mania was the fact that Sonic Mania is such a classic style side scroller. This one, for whatever reason, it goes by way too fast. The average level you go through will be you get through it in less than a minute. So I mean, and there's only I think 6 to 8 different worlds that you go to, levels, and in the end, it's just way too short. I mean, there are boss battles, but they're kind of rinse and repeat boss battles that are they're not like mediocre done, but they're just not nothing really new and impressive that you'll actually be looking forward to here. And there's like total of 5 bosses in the entire game. Now you do end up fighting Infinite like 3 times, but I'm not counting those 3 times as individual boss battles. I'm pulling them together. That's why I'm saying this game only has 5 main boss battles before you beat the main boss and you see the ending. All in all, it is a fun game. It is flawed in many aspects, but overall it is a really fun game. It's got really nice graphics. I haven't had really too many issues with any sort of glitches or anything like falling through the geometry or pop-in, but you're going so damn fast on some of these levels, it's hard to tell the pop-in. And then you got to think, since this plays out a lot like Generations or Generations or Colors, you're going to have a lot of levels where you're running one moment you're running towards the screen, the next moment it turns to a side scroller, then it goes back to the third person mode, and it bounces around a lot. It's really fast. And another thing I would have to say, all in all, is the voice acting. While it's definitely not special, it's nothing to write home about, it serves its purpose, considering there is no lip syncing, so don't expect that. They literally, the characters just sit there and go abba 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 as you hear the voices talk. Their mouths move, and it doesn't match up at all. But all in all, it's not really a bad game. It's definitely got some style to it, some good characterization. In fact, I think just about every character in all the Sonic universe is in this game in one way or another, except for like Biggs the Cat, I think his name was. But other than that, just about every other character makes appearances in the game in one way or another. And like I said, it is a fun game. It is a good pick up and play game, but it's so short you can burn through this in no problem at all. And considering the price tag of this game is $40, I do not think it's worth the price. I think this should have been a $19 game, only $20 for the game to really warrant this game, because I know it takes a long time to build these levels, but considering how fast you go through them, it's just not that long at all. And for $40, I really don't think it's worth it. It does have one neat little feature where you can actually rent a avatar, rent a hero, and any time before a level starts, you can actually press your button and bring up a list of quote player created avatars other people have made, and you could pull them off from offline and have them help you through the level. You could play as them or help them help you through the level, and that is kind of a neat aspect. But the game is, even on its hardest difficulty, to me seemed so dang easy. I never once actually, other than wanting to check out and see what some of these other players did with their character to make them special, I didn't really find myself really wanting to do that much. And considering that you have like a gun that you can just spray and kill enemies with, the hardest part of this game is just accidentally hitting the wrong damn button and running off of the path that you're on instead of hitting the right button. That was the hardest problem I had. The bosses were a cakewalk. The overall levels is pretty much really kind of hand-holdy, other than some parts where you can fall off of them. For the most part, it's just run towards the screen, shooting enemies, collecting stuff, killing enemies, rinse and repeat. You do that, you get to a boss, you beat the boss, you move on. So, like I said, this game is not worth the price. It is a fun game, and if you want to add it to your collection, that's fine, but I highly recommend you wait until it goes on sale. Pick it up when it's on sale for about $20 to add it to your collection, but what I really recommend you do, since this is still worth playing, is rent it. Get it from a Redbox if you find it there, or get it from your local video store. Just rent the game, because you can sit down with it on a weekend, play through it in a couple hours, and you'll be done. I don't really see you wanting to go back to this game and doing a bunch more to it, because there's really not much to it. It is pretty much a stupid fun game, as I would call it. It does have some parts in it with some quick time events, and the only thing I noticed there is just time it to where you press the button when the icon is in the middle of the circle. Don't press it immediately, and it just adds to your score. So in the end, like I said, it's not a bad game. It's definitely worth playing. It's just definitely not worth $40. So please leave your comments below if you bought this game and if you're liking it, if you plan on playing this game. Also, let me know if you have any sort of recommendations for any movies, games, or anything you want me to see a review on. And remember, I always end my videos by saying, have fun, play hard, and remember, people, the devil is in the details. Peace out.